Hello, everybody. Welcome to the webinar number 2 from the new series of webinars from PlayBox Neo. I'd like to thank you for joining us. It's 10 a.m. Central European Time. Today's theme is channel in a box and remote MCR solutions. I would go over some of the current solutions we have and what else you can do workflow wise with remote and remote management monitoring and so on, so you can get the benefit of all these new technologies and still use your equipment. As you know, currently everybody is being quarantined at home at different parts of the world or has a limited access to office spaces and so on. So this whole situation prompted us to go and create this webinar and to show you solutions how you can manage your playouts remotely. Channel in a box, as you know, PlayBox, this is how the company started over 20 years ago. And this was actually the channel in a box term was one of very new one at the time. So we can say we're one of the foremost companies in this field. So back in the day, master control room was a huge room filled with equipment, tape recorders, automation servers, all controlled by protocols of different companies and so on and so forth. So at this time, powerful computers came and you can squeeze everything in one box. And that was a big advantage for a lot of broadcasters, and even smaller companies can afford to have a proper automation, proper playout, and so on. You're familiar with the three big components of channel in a box. This is the air box, Neo, which is the playout, automation, scheduling. The title box, which is the CG, the graphics that you see on there, and capture box, which allows you to capture ingest files or live video streams, SDI sources, and so on. First, I wanted to go over some of the automation tricks inside Airbox that in previous webinar somebody asked about. The autofill feature is a very important one to maintain flawless broadcast in case you have missing files or something happens in the playlist and there is a gap in the playlist. For example, you can designate a bunch of files. I will create either live source to replace the missing files or a short group of files that you can designate to fill that gap. I will select the second method. So I'll say fill, I'll name this category, and I will insert some files. Let's say couple of promo files. As you see, here's the important section, says truncate, which means at least one file you have to designate to be truncated. So if it needs to fill some odd time, the gap is with a time that doesn't fit exactly the length of the clips, one of the clips at least, or more of them, you can just truncate them in order to fit that. Somebody says they lost their sound. I don't know, you guys tell me if everyone else can hear me or it's just one of our viewers. Okay, so I selected this list, and the categories field. If you create categories close to the categories you have in the playlist, let's say like news or music, if you have the same category, if a file from this category is missing, then fillers from the same category filling list will be chosen. So in this case, I selected some number of files, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the properties of the last file here, and I'll force it to go fixed time. Let's say now it's at 1 p.m. okay, and I have to advance 4-day offset because this machine is already been running 3 days in loop, so properly calculates the time in advance. So now you will see that I have a gap of 1 hour 50 minutes and so on. If I go to this, I'll jump to the file before. By the way, before I proceed, let me tell you, you can go and check what we're doing online. You see it on the screen behind me, but you can also check it online on our YouTube channel. I'll copy the link in the chat. So right now there is the default clip playing. Default clip is a black clip. If I go again into the properties and I select, just let me go and jump to another place just to, okay, I'm going back to the clip that I put on a fixed time, so it creates a gap. I can go and select custom auto fill category for this clip, and it will be my fill category that I created. The default clip is just a black clip to have some video file there. And let me check again the time. All right. So the clip will insert the necessary data when this gap occurs. Okay, so if I jump on it, it will start playing the files from the other clip. You see the image squeeze because the video scale was on previously. So it will rotate those clips until it fills out the necessary time, and then just comes out to the next clip. So that's one simple way. You always have to designate these emergency fillers if something happens with the playlist and you need to do something, you know, without operator, it will fill out the gaps. Another cool feature is you can, I'll open now our graphics engine. And currently it was running in automated mode, which means commands from the playlist, like certain categories, trigger graphic rules, which I explained previous time. Basically, you can create graphic rules that trigger the graphics engine. Let's say I'll create new folder. You can create graphic rules. The easiest way to explain it is, let's say if the category is clip or music, then load template with proper name, whatever the name of your graphics template is, and use the text of the file, let's say artist and song, so you can populate the name of the song and so on. And you can have at what time, how many seconds from the beginning of the clip the graphic shows, then hide, and then towards the end of the clip show and hide again. So this is all a graphic rule. You set it, and then you can easily go and recall a template that's pre-designed and automate the data in like the name of the artist and song. So graphics graphics, it's easy to create with our platform because it's a very user-friendly graphic interface. You can have pictures, text, scrolls. For example, if I just go with uh, with a scroll, I'll select it here in this part of the screen, and I can assign data source. And data source, I can go and check. Let's say currently I went and I took RSS feed from the BBC website. And if I go and just assign that data source, you can give the parameters how often to refresh and so on and so forth. So now you see this object, I can store it and it will show up. It will show up on screen here on the lower part of the screen. You can see it. These are very simple ways to create some graphics, interactive data coming onto the screen. Also, you can use weather services to create your weather map, news from various data sources, and so on. So this, I'll switch back to net control so my playlist continues to control the predetermined projects going with the playlist. By the way, everything you see, you can see how complex and beautifully looking graphics you can create with our system. Okay. So we have everything working on the server. And typically, people have a remote access to the server or sit in front of it. But nowadays, as we mentioned, we need some solutions that we can work remotely and try to have an efficient workflow, even if we're not physically at the space. Using remote access services like TeamViewer or similar, it's okay to some extent, but still it's not perfect because one person has access to the whole server, to the whole machine, which sometimes can lead into not very desirable consequences. So we designed product called Multi-Playout Manager, and it's a service that runs into the same network where the playout servers are. You have number of users, number of servers, that's a license controlled. So whatever number you need, you can go and configure it. And some of the features are configured based on the dongle. And you access these servers through a web browser, Chrome web browser. So when I log in, right now you see the same machine that you've seen in the background running. You see it right now in the browser. I can do the same thing, go jump to a place in the playlist. Because the files have are indexed, I can go and select a certain file and open the online clip trimmer, and I can go and in out points I can trim on this. Also I have options to be a file uploader if that's allowed in the settings. Since I'm administrator, I can upload files via the web browser, or you can select FTP service it's more convenient in some cases. Also, I have a playlist editor, which allows me online to go in from designated folders for this channel to create a playlist. Let me go to the administration of the system. And currently, I have one Airbox server assigned to this service. As you can see, where is the server? Where is the media folders? For the media folders, I can select category and color, which I'll show you this feature a little bit later on, what you can do with this, what type of files to look into these folders, playlist, where your playlists are, let's say daily playlist or something. If you have DataBox, which is another PlayBox product, you can also hook it up and see it as a tag. You can see it also as a source from media files and carry all the metadata that's associated with them. Users, of course, I'm administrator currently, but you can have only viewer, somebody that just looks at this, but cannot do anything like a controlling the playlist jump and so on, start, stop, upload, or any of this, or operator, which you have all of the access of the administrator without this screen where you're setting up which server, passwords, and all of this. So you have versatile multi-tier level of access to this machine. Okay. As you can see, we can add custom events, which are the events that you can insert into the playlist. And also we have something called Shotbox, which is a very useful one push button commands like logo, show, on, off, live insert, and so on. Very similar to the online, to the desktop version of the software, like this Shotbox down here. Okay, so right now I want to add another server. I have another instance running here on my computer. So in order to go here, I like to add another server. I can add it manually if I know the IP address or exactly particular machine in an instance I want to connect to. But the easiest way is to say, let me search for it and search the entire network or just a portion of your local network. And right now, I will just wait for a couple of seconds, and the server will find all the machines that I have on the local network. For example, this is my IP address, and I know this is the second instance, so I'll add it. We have to designate frame rates, time offset. This feature allows you, let's say if I'm in, like currently I'm in Bulgaria, but the server broadcasts in Central Europe, so it's a offset of 1 hour. I can dial in this 1 hour offset here, and I'll show you why I need to do this shortly. But you can set properly the timing of the server against the place where you're monitoring it from. Okay, so we have it we have this server added, so you can see I have it here. Beyond just granted users, I will add myself with role full access. You see you have control operator, playlist editor, so people that can only just go and create playlists for the future broadcast, but no access to the live broadcast, view only as I described, and full access like I described for myself. All right, so if we go back here, you can see that I have two servers right now, and this will show this second server, also the first one. Let me just go and view groups. View groups is another thing where you can assign a bunch of servers into a view group, so you can easily switch if you have more than one server. Setup. I'll log out of the system just to make sure that my new server is being, yes. You can see right now I have the first server that you've been watching behind my back, and this is the second server that I can easily go on the screen, and you can see it's a different, has different playlists here. I didn't assign media folders to this one, so you don't see anything here. On my main server, you can see the media folders and the data box folder. So the very useful feature using the color and the category. So everything that is from this folder will have a category promo, and it will have orange color in the playlist. So if I go and take, let's say, this file and insert it into the live playlist, you see immediately it is labeled promo and it has the color. So by designating these categories, it's very easy to control a number of things like I showed you, the graphics. So when this clip comes, immediately the proper graphic will kick in. I can just remove the clip. I showed you I can go and do some clip trimming. Shotbox, you can see all of these commands that I have predefined. So I can trigger like logos or some title box projects. So the operator comfortably can do this without actually need an access to the graphics engine, because typically on Air you use pre-made, pre-designed templates, and that's what you need. You don't need to go and start writing a new project and designing a new template, obviously. So all of this you can do to show logo of, graphic stop, whatever you desire to put here. You can do it in an insert, like let's say live. If I want to insert somewhere live, I can just insert it wherever my cursor is, or I can be on an executive mode, which means it will just insert it immediately wherever I can do it straight on the playlist. So these are a lot of options that we can do from here. Like for example, let me go and show you the control groups is the second tab that you see up here. Control groups, you can put number of servers that you can control simultaneously, like start, stop, insert file. If you have, let's say, number of channels and you want to have emergency sort of situation where you want to insert live news flash across all of them right now at this very second, you just go to the control group if you have designated such a group. It has a one master machine, so you go basically on this one, insert the live, it will go all of the machines in the group. Timeline. This is something that I showed you that you need a time offset. So you have an overview of all of the servers, sort of as a electronic catalog on the TV, where you see all the programming. And right now I can see my first channel, what's going on, what's coming down the line. You see the colors of categories, so you can easily have a clear view of what's going on. Or I have something coming like you see it shows me a gap here, so I can be aware as a broadcast engineer what's going on there. Or I have a live, so I can also be aware if I want to go and just go to this channel and do something. And when you have the time offset, basically all the channels properly will be set at the running time where this red line is. So okay, I have the best sense of what's going on right now. You have as a insert options, again, pretty much the controls are very similar to the actual Airbox desktop version. You can insert items and you can have media file, live stream, UDP, dummy clip, event, fill events, and also custom events that I described, that you can just type custom events that do something, graphic stop or Facebook feed start or something that controls your graphic system, whatever you like to do at this point. So it's very comfortable, versatile, and you can easily deal with it. This part of the screen shows you all of the servers, and again, if you have control groups, currently I did not define control groups, but you can go and define one. Playlist editor, as I mentioned briefly, again, it's offline. It's like a list box, so you can easily take files, create from the folders that are allowed for this channel to use. They're mapped to this channel. I can put the media, just simple drag and drop, and do things like clip trimming and so on. All the features that you have typically to put together a playlist, and I can save it as a daily playlist, and all to the pre-designated folder, so there's very little room for error. And voila, you have your next day and the following day playlist all set, all from a web interface. This is very comfortable where you have multiple people also to work. Let's say one, as I described, is a playlist editor. So this is a person that only has access to this functionality. It will not be able to do anything for the on-air stuff, but you can go and just log in and create playlists. Also, the operator obviously will have all the features that you can use the shot box, you can control the playlist, switch between the whatever number of servers he has access to, and so on, monitor the timeline. If you have file uploader rights, again, you will you can just upload files to the predetermined folders, or you can upload them via other means, as I mentioned. And this will get you absolutely covered in all the cases. Upload media, create playlists, recall templates with shortcut commands, or functionality like inserting events into the playlist, and monitor your broadcasting currently on air. So you can see I have two machines right now, which is great. You can go with many servers, and actually, guys, my colleagues will try to answer your questions while I'm doing this presentation, because it's a little bit hard for me to go and read your questions. But how can give category for a bunch of files? Somebody asks. As I described, you giving category based per folder, media folders. Let's say I have one media folder here, but I can add another media folder, and everything in this folder will be from a certain category. Let's say if I go here and I have to enter name, map it to the network path or a local path, filter what type of files I want to see in this folder. Let's say only media files, because I don't want to see any other, let's say, proxy files or something like that. I can put the category and the color that assigned to this particular folder, and then I will see it here as another tab with a color. And then every time I drag from this file, everything shows. Sorry, I have to be up here when time is still not passed. So you can see it goes this file with the promo tag that I designated. And I can remove this item. Let me just go here and remove the gap on this file. So, I think I'm done right now with my presentation, and I would like to open the floor for questions and answers. So I'll try to answer to the best of my abilities, and my colleagues are standing by also in the chat, our broadcast engineers, sales managers, so we can go and answer all of your questions. How to connect multiple cameras and show on one screen. So you want to do multi-viewer? Is that correct? That there is an option that you can have a live viewer which shows all the live sources, and you can monitor them. And when you see, let's say, something that's coming on one of the channels, and you can insert it as a live, if that's what you're asking me. It's called live viewer. It's Frank Turner. When you say SCT, you mean triggered by like an ad insertion? You're talking about ad insertion? Dealing with a SCT triggers? Yes, we do support that, and there will be one of the coming webinars. We will be focusing exactly on this workflow, how you can use SCD 35 104. We use this for doing a ad insertion into using Airbox Neo as an ad inserter. What is the minimum? There is no minimum time. Thank you, Frank. So there is no minimum lead time to change the list. As you see, I changed the list while I'm right on air. I can go at any point and jump right here, and it jumps right away to the live, and or jump to another place, or I can go and just insert file or anything like you've seen me doing it. Maybe here I can go and just insert right before the live here, and it's there. There's no, the system works immediately. The clips and the changes on the playlist are right on the air. So there's no need to be concerned of lead time and so on. This is just choice of the operator. If you want to do some changes right now in this very minute, go ahead and do it. It's not a restriction. Daily playlist, as you know, it's one of the forms of scheduling for this system. So you have playlists that starts at a specific time. You can make daily playlists, so they are at the designated time and date. Also, the autofill gap function that I show you may work if you select between playlists. Let's say I have a playlist that is not full 24 hours, and every morning at 6 o'clock my new day playlist starts. So it finishes, let's say, at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I have a 3-hour gap. Autofill function will be able to cover this gap between daily playlists also. The jump from one clip to another, yes, it has a little bit of time, because typically to have a gapless playback, as you notice, when one file finishes, the next one couple of seconds need to pre-buffer, so they are absolutely perfectly stitched together. So when I'm jumping around, you need a little bit of this pre-buffering to make the seamless cut there. That's why you're experiencing a second or two, not even that much. You can lower significantly the time. This all depends on the reliability of performance of your system. Yes, transitions are available. They can be assigned to the beginning of the clip, fade in, fade out, and couple of those. You can go and assign it. So let me see what. Yes, you can do ahead of time. You can program schedule for a month ahead. You just create daily playlists, as I showed you. You create playlists that just, when you're saving it, you say this is a daily playlist. The daily playlist is a normal playlist, but the title of the list is basically, let me just go and show you. The title of the list is the year, month, date, and time down to the second when the playlist should start. So PlayBox Neo looks at this, and if you have a predetermined folder, you can see all available daily playlists here, and you can see when is the next one coming. You can be aware if there is some discrepancy there, and so on. Can you chroma keying? This is not a production tool. This is chroma keying is something that you need to do outside of the broadcast, like have a video switcher and do all this stuff. This is a playout system, so we deal with video sources, media sources, and so on. Somebody's asking me if I select 10 clips, can I give them category? Yes, as I showed you, but this feature with the category and the color is available only in the MPM. I mean, in a desktop situation is not available. This is just some extra to make the online usage a little bit more streamlined and benefit that workflow, because you want quickly to add some files, and if they're from the predetermined category, that easily controls the graphics. So it's minimum work when you're on air and you want to do some changes and so on. So here, every file I do, I can go and take 10 files and just put them in, and they, as you see, all of them got here with the proper category and so on. But this is a feature. This is a feature with multi-playout manager. Databox, no. Databox, it's just shown as a source, and you can do whatever categories and you have assigned, because it works in a different way. It's a catalog of your media. You manage the assets in a different way. This just allows you to have assets from Databox with all the metadata that you've assigned, like counting episodes and so on, and you just drag and drop. So if you have to put these descriptions in Databox when you're indexing the media there. This is designed, like the media folders and so on, is designed again for quick, easy functionality to help you. Yes, somebody asked. Yes, you can stream with multi outputs. You can have IP streams to several places. Currently, we're streaming to YouTube, but we know upcoming demo we're showing the new SRT format for secure streaming. We'll be going to multiple places, and you'll see all this how it works. This is one of the topics for the upcoming webinars. We'll focus on this new SRT protocol, which we have implemented into the system, so you can see it. Let me just close one of my instances because I have one too many of them. Yes, GPU accelerated streaming is available. I've shown this at length at our previous webinar. You have NVIDIA accelerated streaming, which greatly offloads the main CPU, and you can benefit from the new video cards. Like NVIDIA card is supported currently, and that gives you a great option to do multiple streams or encode H265, which previously was almost impossible on CPU to do everything, run the application, graphics, and have the encoding also done. So yes, GPU streaming is supported in the system, and you can do it easily. Just assign my output modules. Currently I have internet streaming, which is my streaming to YouTube that I've shared the link with you. And let's say here I can select my format, RTMP, UDP, what video codec. I have MPEG-4, MPEG-2, but you see here I have NVIDIA accelerated encoder, or HEVC encoder, also NVIDIA accelerated. So that greatly benefits the CPU. The video squeeze option. The video squeeze option is allows you to do a DVE effect. Like if I press it, it will go and okay. If the option is not available, you need to update to the latest version of PlayBox Neo product. Talk to our support staff, and they will tell you exactly what you need to update to get all this functionality. I'm showing the latest version released of the software, obviously. So you can go and do it. You can do this, the so-called squeeze, or like if we go to the news type of thing, you see you can squeeze the picture and you can load some graphics and so on. Let me just remove my. You see all this L-shaped kind of graphics. You can go and do it. All right. If anybody has, all this is programmable. The squeeze at specific time goes to from one position to the other, and then restores back, obviously, when you finish with your graphics and lowered turret and the L shape. Okay, Frank, it's a little bit hard for me to start doing. I don't understand. What you asking me? Probably you have to just connect to the secondary events that are available. When you do insert, you see all events here. This is all what is available in the system. So you see these are available on the desktop version, and some of the events are available uh, onto the online version that we deem necessary for and relevant to this remote workflow. Okay. How many channels from one server? There is no limit to the number of channels. The limit is the resources on your machine. Currently, very comfortably, you can do 2 streams with NVIDIA acceleration, H264 on a regular server that we have nowadays, and SDI simultaneously, obviously. You're seeing the SDI all the time behind my back, and we have the YouTube streaming. But using the SRT protocol, which we will show, you can use a gateway where you hit with one stream there, and then this gateway will split the stream to many locations. So you don't need to make separate encoders, let's say, to go Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch or some whatever platform. Yes, you can contact our sales guys, and they'll get you a demo license, demo dongle for the product you need, and walk you through all the details. So the number of channels is all the number of streams or instances, or how many channels you can do per server and so on, is matter of resources. Computers are getting faster and faster, so things are getting better and better. No, if the streams are originating from one instance of Airbox, every separate stream is just encoding in a different format one from one instance. So the graphics is created into the main engine, not in the stream. So they will be with the same logo. If you need separate logos and so on, they need to be separate instances of Airboxes. They can be very simple. I can get one main source from Airbox 1 and then have 2 and 3 running on a separate machine, or 4 just rebroadcasting, just putting a different metadata logo or so on, and then I can encode them into different streams. So there is a workflow solutions. Again, talk to our broadcast engineers. They will work with you to get the best solution and with the minimum resources for you. Synchronized playlists. I mean, playlists are synchronized by the central clock, the timing of the computer, which you can synchronize to a proper timing service. That's one way that you're synchronizing them. Also, here, as I mentioned, control groups. If you have multiple servers, when I press start on the main computer in the group, they all receive the command start and they all start playing. If you have a fixed time event in the playlist, everything synchronizes to that time event based on the clock on your system. So that's the way how you synchronize playlists. Does anybody have any other questions? Again, this presentation will be available on the PlayBox Neo website, and you'll be able to see it after the. Today we're doing two presentations, so tomorrow they will be uploaded to the site, so you can take a look. SCT 35 and 104. This is a protocol that has triggers for triggering local commercials. Let's say if you have up incoming stream from somewhere with the main programming, but at the moment of commercials, they send this trigger. In the past was done through DTMF, which is a tonal signals on one of the audio tracks. Let's say track 3 and 4. One of them has this tonal beep that creates command that says, okay, insert local advertising. And in this moment, when watching your live stream coming through the airbox, it will switch to the playlist that I have here. And then at the end of the playlist, or when the command comes out of advertising block, it will divert back to the mainstream, the stream from outside, either SDI or IP. In this case, 104 is the SDI version of this type of protocol and signaling. SCT 35 is this type of signaling that you can put also as an event. Let's say if this is my main playlist, I can insert this type of signaling inside the stream. So in the playlist, which will insert it into the stream. Hello. So again, as I said, ad insertion will be explained in a separate webinar. We'll go into details about these work scenarios. NDI, yes, I've shown this previous time. If I go to my live inputs, I have, let's say this is a UDP stream, but let's say this one was even, I can define any NDI source on my network. I even demoed it last time with my phone. Use the phone camera broadcast into the network, and I can have NDI source either. This is my phone, or Live 2 is a feature that is a local NDI stream. I'll try to show it to you with another product we have, which is a production airbox. It's called. It allows you to do quick in production environment, 4 instances player. So I have 1 instance, and it goes with a NDI output, and I can go here and insert quickly. Let's say here I can go and insert live stream. Let's say live stream 2, which is predetermined, and if I jump to it, you will see this is the instance coming from here. I'm just have to set it up probably. It works between the all of the sources in the network, so you have that feature. Is the NDI feature available? In the new version is available. Again, whatever I'm showing you guys is in the latest version. You need to upgrade to this version in order to get all these features, the acceleration in the UDP streams, and acceleration, NDI, RTMP streaming. All of these features are part of the latest version. Okay, if there's no more questions, I would like to thank you for joining us. Please write to us if you have any other topics that are interested for you. We'll be doing a lot of these webinars since all the trade shows this year um, are canceled, and we want to keep in touch with everybody and keep going with new products, presentations, working with special use cases existing uh, with existing products and so on. How can you use NDI? As I told you, you just define the NDI either as an output onto the system or as an input, and you stream into the network NDI stream, and that's it. It's not any different than any other source in the system. Like for example, here I can see what is available when the source is going, and I can select one of the streams and so on. You can use it even with Skype. Skype has NDI output. If it's on your network, you can designate it as a one live source, and you go. If that presents interest, I'll do one of the following webinars. I'll do something specifically using multiple NDI sources and show you how we can utilize that as a live sources. If that's the music channel graphics, I mean, you can see right now here in the playlist, the easiest way to do music graphics is by creating lower third graphics. You see all of these animated features and stuff are project in title box, and you can change the name of the singer and the name of the song via graphic rules that I showed in the beginning of our demo. You create a rule that says if the category is music, then load template, which is your lower third, start playing if it has any animation like you're seeing here on the screen, and then extract from the name of the file the title and the title of the file, the name of the song, and extract the song name and artist. All this you can extract from title star or other metadata columns that you inserted, and then this is triggered automatically. If you have clip that it's music, category music, it automatically triggers that graphic. Graphic can be shown, let's say 5 seconds from the beginning of the clip, stays for 10 seconds, and then goes out. And then towards the end of the clip, whatever percentage or seconds before the end of the clip shows again, stays for 10 seconds and goes again. You can show next, coming next, and so on. There are a lot of features like this, but I can't go over them into the webinar. This is more of a specialized training session that you can arrange with our support staff or broadcast engineers, the salesperson that's working with you. You can get all this easily set. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, guys, if that's all, I would close for the day session and hope to see you in the next one coming soon. You'll see the topic. We're just collecting all the feedback from you to see what will be the most interesting topic for the next one. As I mentioned, we have a couple of topics that are already planned to happen, and we'll go over this in the course of the next weeks, the coming weeks. Thank you, everybody. And I hope to see you soon in the next webinar.